Hi everyone, so today I have some of Spellbinders' new classic Christmas collection to share with you. There are quite a few items in the collection, all super cute. I have these selections here to try out today, or at least to show you today and try in the next few days if I don't get to using all of it, because I do have several different things here today to share with you. So these items were sent free of charge from my review, and of course all opinions are my own, and any links in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you purchase items through those links. So thanks for using those if you would like. Depending on how I release my videos, you may have already seen this one. This is part of the collection. It's the Vintage Ornaments 3D embossing folder, and I am in love with this. And I don't know, again, if I release this video or not yet, but you can see in the background those vintage ornaments. Super pretty, just gorgeous. Again, this is a 3D embossing folder, so you would use it a little bit differently in your Spellbinders Platinum machines or any other machine that you normally run folders through. It requires a little thinner sandwich, meaning less plates or less shims than you would normally do for like a standard embossing folder, okay? Because this one's a little bit thicker than a standard embossing folder. Just gorgeous. It embosses a 5.5 by 8.5 area. The folder itself, though, is like 5 3/4 by 8 3/4. So just to have those dimensions, so your machine, you'll know if it works for your machine, right? Excuse me. So we have here this gorgeous stencil. So we're going to start there. We're probably going to use this one today. Again, I get samples. Yours will have, inspo, info, whatever it is it needs to have on your carrier and your packaging. But this is a stencil, and there is a die, and I believe... Yeah, okay, so the die is not sold separately. You can pick up the stencil by itself, or you can pick up the stencil and die, because obviously... it just makes sense to sell it that way, right? If you're going to have these bundled together, that's a good way to pick it up. And if you just want the stencil, you just get the stencil. So they have that. It's the Christmas Floral Stencil. And let me open this stencil up. I believe there are 5 layers in here. Looks like it makes like an A2 front, so you have like your poinsettias, your berries, maybe some flowers there, and then the accent pieces to those items. And you have some greenery. You have some accents to your greenery, it looks like, and then maybe some accents to your accents. Let's see. We will see, because we're going to work on this today. So, yeah, oh, how cute. So some of these things are like pine cones and stuff like that. So you'll definitely have an image so you can see exactly what you're going for. And I can see that some of these areas you might want to use differently. So anyway, they are numbered 1 through 5. Of course, you can layer them up however you like, but generally I usually go through the order that they have. And then there's so that can make you a card topper, but then there's also a die that'll cut out that topper for you really in a pretty way. It even has some little areas that are kind of cut out, so it looks a little more just lighter and prettier. It also comes with some sentiments. So you have sending cheer, it's upside down, sorry, merry and bright, and then it has peace and joy, and it has the little die to cut that out, so you can just do your stenciling, pop on your sentiment, and your card is good to go, right? So this next one is this area here. I'm sorry, this bottom one was more than I thought, so I had to bring it out this way. This one here, oh, in this collection I should mention, I know we've seen the bottle brush trees before, and I believe there's a Santa that's like shaking his little bell and stuff like that. This is larger, and I'm assuming that means maybe the Santa is also than what you've seen in the past. So these are larger bottle brush trees when we get there. But this one right here is called Christmas Bird Poinsettia. I hope you can see. I mean, there's a candy cane. It's a nice size with little bits, to make it whatever color combo you'd like. You have some sprigs. You have this gorgeous poinsettia. Of course, we're going to layer that up if you would like. The berries and, oh, look. I hadn't seen that. Well, you put it on here, and I was just like, oh, these look accent pieces. He has a little hat he can be wearing. Oh, that is so cute. So then you have your little bird here, and poinsettia. Spellbinders makes the cutest birds. So you have your bird. He has accent pieces. He has wing accent pieces, or his tail, or however you want to use it. Not that the wing and the tail are the same thing, but you have all these different accent pieces. And then his little, I always want to say chicken legs, but they're little bird legs. And then his accents to his face are on this die. You have some holly, really gorgeous. Build that up, and it looks really cute. Okay, it's the bottle brush set here. So you have 2 different sizes. You can just kind of cut a few different ones, and you have a background. You have the more delicate layer. Those go together. These guys go together. There's accent pieces. There's berries or like ornaments and stars and all kinds of things to decorate them with, so they look like very like they're out in nature, but also decorated really cute. And then this one's really great. So this one's the Christmas die and glimmer sentiments hot foil plates and dies. So Maybe you can see what's going on here. So let's say like this one. We have the word Mary. Okay, we have this whole die that's going to cut everything. You have the word Mary that's going to cut out. You just run that through. But you have the glimmer that says Christmas. So you have Merry Christmas, and it was glimmered. And you know what I was thinking? I'm like, well, how are you going to put that together if you have the die and you don't know? You're going to foil the word, and then you can put your die right where you need it so that the word is, you know, in there. And so that's one thing. You foiled this, you're done. Now you take your die, you're gonna, you know, you have your words foiled, place it where you need it to be so that you can see the word Christmas, run it through, and then of course you cut this out separately with whatever color you want, and then you glue it down. So it's not like you have to line it up or make sure it's exactly where it needs to be so that these things will fit. It's just, it's really smart. So we have Merry Christmas. I mean, there's lots of seasons greetings, or joy, sorry, to one and all. Warm wishes, a gift. So those are two different words. From me to you. I think this one says warmest. Warmest? No. What does that say? Oh, making spirits bright. But what's cool about this one is it separates right here. So when you put in this piece and you have making spirits bright, when you bring in your die cut word, when you lay it over that, it dips into that. It looks really stylized, really nice. And then happy holidays. So just a lot of fun things. Today we're going to do the stencils, and then just keep an eye out. I will work with these other items very shortly. So I'll be right back. So I just have a standard A2 size card base, 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. We'll use that in just a minute. Just some white paper. This is just like a heavyweight paper, you know, whatever it is that you like to use. This is just, you know, stenciling is not the biggest deal. I will use registration marks today just to show you how you might want to use those guys. Actually, there are these little dots over here, and this is just kind of helping you see, I guess, where exactly the A2 size kind of ends. But I'll just put it in the corner anyway, like the corner of my paper. A lot of times I cut down my paper first, but we're just gonna have it here and here. So I'm starting with number 1. I'm gonna start with like a light pink color, and then we'll build up from there. All these things can be different colors. They don't have to be the same color, like when I come in here. But to make it easy and just a quicker tutorial for y'all, I'm just going to start with everything being basically the same. Now this already might have some color on it, as you can see. A little blush kind of coming through there, but that doesn't bother me, and I know that moved. I see that moved for sure. Okay, there we go. So I'm starting with this pink. It might be a little brighter than I would like for my project, but I'll just do it kind of lightly. And what you want to do is actually get some ink in that little dot, or use a pen or something else that's going to help you get a little registration mark going there. And again, I'm going to do this kind of lightly, so it's going to be a quick going over this area here. Okay, trying to get some ink in that little dot, if you want, right? So a couple of things. I lined it up at the corner, and I went with that. Let's go ahead and bring this up. So pretty. So just a whisper of that color. Lovely. Go to number 2. I generally wash these off pretty quickly, especially with hybrid inks. A lot of times they will stain. So we're looking at those little dots, and that's another way you can line up what's happening, right? So that little dot there, I can see that through here. And this one is very faint, but I can see that there. You can also look at the image and see if that's, you know, where you would want it. Again, I kind of lined mine up at the edge of the paper, but it didn't shift because my dot is over here. So this new flower is going to be on the very edge of this flower. And what's really cool about that is that they're making it so that when you go in here, and this next one I'm going to use like a deeper red. This one happens to be called Glacier Cherry. Just gonna grab that. It's gonna give accents to these berries, right? I'm gonna go into that little dot again in the corner. I'm being careful because I just left it on my mat. But that's gonna give accents to those berries, to this little flower that's already here. It's gonna make a deeper poinsettia here for us, which I think is really fun. And then there's still another accent that you can do with even more red colors or whatever. So they did it in a really nice way. I'm gonna make that one a little brighter. Even though I put tape, I still hold it with my hand. I'm just like, that's what I'm used to doing. And let's try to get some of that red ink in that little dot there. Okay. Just spreading that ink around, trying to get that everywhere. Now when I remove this, look how pretty. You have that red accent, and then a deeper red flower. I'm going to go rinse these at this point because, again, Some of these inks will definitely stain, and I'm just gonna try to get rid of that right now. So I'm gonna go wash these and I'll be right back. Follow along. This is number 3 if we're just going by the numbers. So I'll put this on here, and again, when we look at it, it is going to be like the lighter green of the foliage or whatever colors you want to use. So I'll put that there. And again, I'm lining it up with, excuse me, with the little dots there. And so I'll put this on here. And I have not chosen my colors yet, but let's go with this one. Why not? Light green, a little bright. And of course you want to check everything out, make sure you're getting the colors that you really want to use for that part of your project. I have a couple different brushes, like this one's more yellow greeny, but it's green, so let's just use this one. And this is a lighter, juicier green, and you know, I use my registration marks to line up. I didn't even look at the images, and I can see that this is like perfect right on the berries. Can you see that? It's like doot doot doot. That's awesome. And you know me, I usually don't use the registration lines. I just kind of eyeball, but you know what? Maybe I should be using those lines or dots or whatever it is that the company used for that stencil. And yeah, I mean, every berry, look at that. Oh my gosh, like perfect. All right, well, maybe we don't have to go it on our own like I normally do. All right. Going a little bit deeper with it, like a little bit more color. Because that's basically really your base, you know? Everything else is accent. Okay, and I did everything green. Again, look at your inspo, look at your, you know, your, what's that thing called? Like the carrier. I didn't mark this again because I already pretty much have color there anyhow. So we have that, and look how pretty. I love their stencils. So pretty. Looks dimensional, really lovely. Okay, so this is where we're gonna start making some choices, I believe. So this is number 4. And if I lay down number 4, I'm looking at my little red dot up here and the one over here. And I mean, that is, again, right on if I'm looking at the image. Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Okay, even right here, like the flower or the tip there. Awesome. Okay, so let me put some tape. Now, this is the only one where you're going to pay a little more attention because you have these 2 areas. It makes like a little pine cone. So, you know, if you want it to be green, I suppose just go for it, you know. But let's treat this area and this area a little bit differently. So I'm going to go dark green in here, but when I get to those bits, I'm going to hold back a little bit on that. So let me grab a darker green. Okay. Let's use this one. Let's put this back over here. This one back too. And again, I can get a smaller brush, but these are really kind of far away from the green areas, so it's not going to be anything too scary. So we'll put this color in here, this one here, coming down in here. What I will tell you is that there's another little bit here that's the brown coming off, you know, the little acorn or whatever. Pine cone, should I say? What am I talking about? Acorn. Oh, acorns are cute though. Okay, let's go over here. And then this one again, right down here, even up to here, right? Try not to get in. I'm just putting my hand there for some reason, but you can definitely just put a piece of paper over that area. Again, trying to watch out for that area there, and I think we are good to go as far as that. Let me choose a light brown. So over here I have a kind of a light brown color, and it's just going to be right in here. There, and then right over here. And I think that's good. Okay. Let's remove this. And then layer number 5 has lots of accents and cute things to it. So let me go rinse these guys off, and then we will concentrate on that 5th layer that just kind of wraps everything up, brings it all home. But look how pretty. Oh my gosh. And then again, accents for the acorn, you know, different little red accents for your flowers or whatever it is that you want to use for that. Really lovely. So I'll be right back. So for this one, I have these little Spellbinders, like stencil brushes, because they're brushes, but they're not like stippling brushes. I don't know, they're just a little different, but they're basically blending brushes, but small like this, so you can get into smaller areas. And then I just have this random one if I need it. But this is number 5, and I want to show you that this area should probably be green like the other areas, but they made it that way and they put it on here because if it was on the other one, right, where we did the green and the brown right now, it would be so close, like you would have to really mask and do all these weird things, or, you know, maybe a little extra work. I guess not weird things, but anyway, something to make that work. So again, I'm lining up my little registration marks, and I think that looks really good right there. So let's put down some tape and let's get serious here. Okay. So, for the brown, maybe I'll still use, because I have a kind of smaller head on this, I just need a deeper brown to finish off some stuff. So we have a little deeper brown. And maybe you want to put that somewhere else too, you know, like maybe I should use a smaller, maybe I should use brown here, unless you want that to be green, you know, this area in between your stems here. So let me think. Maybe we'll use a dark brown, so I have to really pay attention to that. So I have this in my hand. There are some little dots here that are going to be like red dots. And what I'm going to do is just grab a scrap of paper. Maybe this will help me, just like a piece. Just kind of cover those areas super easily. There you go. And now all I have left is just this area. So this number 5 definitely has all your accents. I'm going to kind of go like this and maybe put my hand there on this other part just to get this brown in here. And again, we have smaller brushes. I'm just trying to use this one, but once I get there, maybe I'll switch out in here like this little tiny bit right here. There we go. This one too, I'm using just the very like edge of this guy. Take that in. And same thing with this one, maybe I'll cover that a little bit. Yeah, that'll help me. Okay, and then over here is the smallest bits. 1, 2, 3. So I'll dip with this one. Get in there. And I'll see if I have anywhere else where I need to use. I could have just used this one the whole time, and these guys. Maybe I'll come back and do a little extra with that. There we go. I think that's it for that. I'm going to take a moment to wipe this down really, really well, because we have these other areas where I can use a much deeper red, and I'm going to do that. And maybe this one is deeper, but I'm going to use the same little guy. So I'm just going to wipe this off until I don't see any more brown ink coming off of it. All I did was kind of like go like this on a white piece of paper until I didn't see any more brown. So that's that. And let's get these little red. Again, these areas are larger. I can probably just use, you know, a larger brush that I was using earlier, but let's go in here and get some of that deep red there and here and maybe in here. And there's a few little berries here. And being careful with this one because it's right in between those green lines. You can definitely use also like washi tape for masking, things like that, but I'm just being careful here. This whole guy in the very center. And let's see, what else do we got? Some little berries up here. And there. And then these little like, what look like little X's, really cute. They kind of look like blueberries, centers. Okay, center of this guy. Really get that color in there. There's some berries here. So again, this is the finisher. And if you like stenciling, they also have a layered Christmas stencil collection that just came out. And I will have those for you, so keep an eye out for that. A few over here. And then these little X's I will do the same like I did over here. So just each one of these berries, and I'll be right back. Okay. So again, with this one I can just wipe down until it doesn't have any more red coming off of it. I do have this other one that I've used at the green, so I'm going to use this one with our dark green one more time. And you can use a different shade of green just if you want to make it look different than the others. But I'm just using the same dark green I used earlier, and basically going to finish this off right here. So this one, and then this one here. And that's it for the green. And I'll be right back. Okay. So that's all that, and then the ones over here that I did. Alright, let's see with these accent pieces what we got. So you see the different areas of the different color there. And look at that, you guys. So pretty. It just, they do such a nice job with these. And with these guys, even like if you wanted to do like, ooh, glitter paste, that would be really cute if you went through with like the red or something red and glittery, or even just clear, or even after you did your colors, you know, clean this off, obviously place it back and then go over it with some like iridescent glitter paste or something like that, because then it'll make it shine and be sparkly. And how cute are these when I was saying that those have like little X's? So you have the berry, you have like the little red dot, and you have the deep red or whatever color you chose for that. I mean, that could have been brown, honestly. I could have just used the brown. How cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me go wash everything off, and we'll do some die cutting and we'll put our card together. So you guys, yes, as I was putting this away, I noticed I didn't do my other pine cone over here, so I'll go ahead and add the dark brown in here, and that's it. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so for behind that, I'm just gonna use a pop of red. So this is a really nice large stencil. It would take up like almost the whole front of your card. So for the A2 size card, I just cut this so it's the whole 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, just to have it right in that background. Maybe we'll run it through an embossing folder. What I want to see first is exactly kind of how big this is, you know, because if it doesn't show up, then what's the point, right? So let's get that. Let's get our die, and it's this berries over here. Look how cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, so sorry, just wash the stencils, the water on my hands. And I just eyeball, like I can see there's like a white edge here, there's some white edge here, there's a little bit there. I'm just kind of splitting the difference, you know, lining it up as nicely as I think it can look. That looks pretty great right there. Let's put some tape. Generally when I do something like this, I always put the tape towards the outside regardless of what I'm doing, but with this, obviously it's just stenciling. You can definitely, the tape can touch your stenciling. But, you know, if you have space to put it more towards the outside, I'd rather do that. So I'm going to run that through, and then we'll see about, you know, how much of this shows through in the background. So I'll be right back. All right. See what we got. Oh my gosh, how pretty. What's so nice is that you can definitely have this going up like this and have your sentiment, or like this, your sentiment, you know, orient it however you feel like that you like, right? And you know what, I think enough of this background shows that why don't we get some texture on this. So I'm going to run this through the Holly and Berries 3D embossing folder. I'll show it to you when I come back, but I'm going to run it through and I'll show you the folder. I'll be right back. This folder happens to be from Yana's Delightful Christmas collection. Look how beautiful. Oh my gosh. I know a lot of this won't be showing, but that is just, I'm telling you, the 3D embossing folders are the best. If you're using a platinum system, you just use with the universal plates, it would be just the A platform base and then the adapter plate. Of course, your paper inside your embossing folder. If you don't have the universal system, you can still get it working, but you're just gonna have to play with it a little bit. And I think I did that initially when I used to have the 3D embossing folders before I had the universal system. So I don't remember what that is off the top of my head, but you definitely just have to do some different plating. Okay, let's see here. Let's think. How do I want to use this? That's cute, but if I have my sentiment, so maybe we'll do it this way and our sentiment can just be like right here. How cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. And you can definitely see the little berries back there, but you know, not too much. So I'm just gonna glue these down and then we'll put our sentiment probably popped up. So just glue it down and glue this down too. And look at the deboss side, looks really lovely. Okay, I'll be right back. Put something heavy on top of this just like right now, so I'm just going to leave that. And I think for this, what I'll do is run it through some gold paper. And I'm going to go ahead and have the peace and joy sentiment. And again, you put some tape. You don't want that to shift your dies. Let's go. Let's see here. There we go. Something like that. And just hold these down in a couple spots. I'll run that through, and then I'll run the die, just the outer die by itself, through some white paper, maybe something that makes it pop, so that you can see the wording. Generally with this, it pushes all the way through, so whatever you put behind it, you can kind of see that come up. So I'll be right back. Okay, let's just glue these guys together. And I've shown you in the past that if your lettering doesn't come all the way through, you can just kind of clean it out with something like a little pokey tool, but this came out really clean. So I'm just going to glue these guys together, and this should be okay. How pretty. Love the stenciling. So just putting glue around the very edges, gluing that together, and I'll put some dimensionals on it, and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so some low profile dimensionals on that, and I think it looks really nice, like right here. Just again eyeballing how straight that is. That looks pretty good. Alright guys, there's our beautiful stenciled, layered card. There's a whole collection of stenciled Christmas. I believe it's 3 different designs, and I believe even, so Yana's delightful collection has a glimmer plate that you can, go ahead and run through. It's a whole A2 card front, and then there's stencils to color it in, and it is all like holly and gorgeous and so pretty and so nice to have the stencils, right? It just really makes it pop. And then sentiments and all that kind of stuff go along with it, or you just use the stencil. I don't believe you have to have the glimmer plate if you just like stencils. Just do the holly design without the foil lines, right? But really pretty. So look forward to working with those. I have those to share with you too. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll have images, I'll have the links in the description box, and I'll see you all at the next one. Bye now.